Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another reading, guys, hanging out with my little sidekick Mega Good Vibes, and we are on, as usual, to do messages from the Divine Masculines. We are going to dive right in. Universe, you know who is watching and tuning in for the readings. Please help to provide clarity on the journey. Alright, what I want to ask this deck is, what are the Divine Masculines learning in these tower moments that are happening, okay? Because that's been happening, like for me, energetically, I can sense that things are different. There's a shift. Ooh, I'll take those. So I want to dig more into that energy and find out what's being learned during these tower moments, okay? So we first have change and courage, okay? So I feel like this is someone packing up and leaving, okay? So when it comes to your Divine Masculine energy, leaving a situation took a lot of courage. And because change is coming up as well, I don't know why, but with change, like for a moment there, I saw this image of like a hand holding another. So a lot of your masculines could feel very supported at this time, or like what I see is they're finally getting the right kind of advice, or the people around them are starting to open up their eyes as well, and they're able to provide clear advice on how this masculine can move forward. There's been some kind of situation that they've been facing, and it seems like there's a lot of karmic lessons behind it, but I do feel like they're ready to take accountability, because in the picture, this person's, they're holding their own luggage, they're charging ahead. Even with the look on her face here, I don't know why, but I feel like some of your masculines have this energy of like feeling betrayed, okay? And I did share a community post on seeing someone's true colors, and I feel like the look on her face is, I don't know why I keep hearing, but it's like I should have known, or I should have known all along, okay? So I'm also getting to, like, with this person walking away with their luggage, you can expect the masculine collective to go through a period of hermiting right now. Like, I feel like the month of January, February, maybe even like March, you could expect this energy of just hermiting or laying low, okay? But there's a lot of change occurring. They've had a lot of courage to walk away from a situation. And because there's luggage here, it's like they're picking up and leaving with what they have left. Okay, so I don't know what that's going to mean for some of you or for your masculines, but like just what I have left, I'm moving forward. Do you guys remember in my written deck, I have a message in there from the masculines that says I'd have to start from scratch, but you're worth it. It's kind of like what I'm picking up on with that card there. Hi, baby. What are you up to, huh? You want to go down? Okay, guys, what else do we have here? We have, so present, abundant, and gratitude. I feel like these are things that they are starting to open up their eyes to. Like if they practice more of this, it's helping them to gain that courage to initiate the necessary change in their life. Whoever's listening, you may be their counterpart. This could also be something that they've learned from you as they experience these changes in the dark night of the soul. I feel like as a way of dealing and coping with it and finding comfort, you guys should see the way she's cuddling on me. She's so cute. It's like as I'm saying the word, like finding comfort too. She's so cute. She always likes to cuddle on the mic as well. Oh, she's so sweet. But yeah, there's something about this energy here. You know what's funny, guys? You know the word present? This is what you've given to them, is like this present of this attitude of gratitude, okay? As they heal from this dark night of the soul, which we all know can be very tumultuous. It can seem like just sheer chaos, right? Like your world is falling apart, nothing's going right, things aren't what they seem, people aren't what they seem. I feel like a lot of your masculines are trying to be present in the moment. They're trying to have a lot more gratitude for the things that they do already have, because that's how you build abundance, is by, a lot of people will sometimes, they'll try to hold an image of what they want, and they try to manifest that way. But I feel like a lot of abundance comes from gratitude. Like if you look around and you appreciate the things that you do have, and that's why maybe this card here is giving me that energy of like what I have left. So I feel like whatever they have left after the changes they've been through, they're just grateful to come out alive. Maybe that's what the look on their face is. They're just grateful to come out alive. And I think a few readings back I had channeled, sorry guys if the mic is making noise. Mega is just, I don't know why, for some reason cuddling it like crazy. I should like marking her scent all over it with her whiskers. But hang on, I lost my train of thought. Let me stop the video. Yeah, sorry guys. I was going to say that I was channeling that message about a fresh start, okay? I was telling a lot of you about the energy of 111, 1111. A lot of you might be seeing that a lot. Like craving just a new start. Realizing that you've had, a hell of an experience, but wanting to leave the past behind. And that's why I was saying I feel like for the next few months, many of your masculines they're gonna really take accountability with the holding of the baggage there, and they're gonna sit in silence for a while and really digest everything. Instead of being like in this go energy, I feel like they really are going to either be hermiting, so purposely like isolated, locked away. And many of you are going to be like, well, how is that going to happen? Well, when you're on the ascension journey, a lot of the times, like being around big crowds or other people while you're ascending or going through the dark night of the soul, like it can feel really anxious. Like a lot of people tend to develop things like anxiety because they don't know yet that they're experiencing other people's emotions, right? So I feel like that's why your masculines are being forced into isolation right now. It's like they're trying to avoid crowds or avoid just people in general, because they're like, oh God, why do I feel so overwhelmed? And the only way they feel safe is when they're with themselves, kicking back, enjoying alone time. Oh, sorry, I totally didn't realize the cord was in the way. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so right now, like, they're going to be doing things like that, right? Like, they're going to be finding a lot of enjoyment in spending time alone. It's like that's how they will reset. That's how they'll get to know themselves again. Also, too, like, when you're in solitude, you have no choice but to become best friends with your higher self, because literally you're just by yourself, right? So that's why, like, many of you will develop very intuitive relationships with your animals, because when you're constantly alone or you enjoy being alone, it gives you time to practice other ways of like communicating. And I feel like for many of you who are listening, you've been through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're best friends with your higher self. That's why you're so comfortable being alone, and that's why you don't really give into the whole social scene or needing to have a big huge circle of friends to validate yourself. Like many of you get the assignment in terms of why solitude is important. Well, that's what I feel like is happening with many of your masculines, is like they're being forced into isolation because they literally cannot handle the energy of other people. But they'll learn in this isolation period and in hermiting, because they're literally going to start Googling things like, how do I deal with anxiety? Like, how do I help myself relax? And that's when many of your masculines go on to this path of learning about like meditation and crystals to ground themselves, because literally their physical body will start going crazy. And they're going to start asking themselves, like, why do I feel so different? I was once so outgoing, on the scene, but now it's like I can barely leave my front door without feeling overwhelmed. They're going to start understanding through their research and their knowledge in this period of hermiting that they're going to like learn techniques how to ground yourself. That's when they start learning from you as well, Divine Feminine, all of the knowledge that you have gained on the journey so far. Now they're going to see why you're so crazy with your, like your tarot, your spiritual beliefs, or why you've taken such a turn into going inwards or taking up a lot of self-care. Literally, this is how you dealt with the dark night of the soul, and just in general, how to deal with more intense energies, because on the twin flame journey, as you ascend, you have to be able to feel other people's emotions and energies in order to help them, right? So that's why we go through that very tumultuous experience. But I feel like that's what your masculines are going through now. We have feminine here, so they're definitely learning from you in some way, or they feel supported by your energy with all of the information that you've given to them so far. Okay, because in the beginning, I feel like whoever's listening, you didn't hold back on your beliefs and who you are, and that you guys are maybe twin flames, and maybe your masculine might have looked at you like you were crazy. But I feel like for those of you who did drop the twin flame bomb or tried to teach your masculine just about themselves or their connection to themselves, it's paying off now. Okay, yeah, maybe they thought that you were crazy in the beginning, but I feel like I'm getting that message very strongly. It's paying off now because now they, are somewhat having to dive into these types of esoteric knowledge in order to literally help themselves through the dark night of the soul. What else do we have? We have memories and we have nostalgia. Okay, so they're thinking about you a lot, particularly around the times where they maybe didn't appreciate this information or knowledge, or just in general taking their feminine for granted. I feel like with whatever they're going through right now and experiencing, like they recognize themselves as your masculine. They have no choice but to recognize this now because their physical bodies, right? It's like the proof is in the pudding. The universe is like, oh, okay, you don't think you're a twin flame? You don't think you're on this journey with this so-called feminine? Okay, you want proof, you want logic, let's go ahead and show it to you. So their physical bodies are feeling the effects so much to the point where they have no choice but to research ways to ground themselves. And now all of a sudden their whole world is opening up to things like, crystals and believe me, some of them could use a moldavite right now, okay? But if it wasn't for you, shit would be hitting the fan. They wouldn't know what to do. They would feel really depressed or anxious or post-traumatic stress disorder, stuff like that. But they're taking things into their own hands. A lot of your masculines are deep breathing, grounding themselves, finding the courage to stay sober, and again, becoming best friends with their higher self, okay? And I feel like their higher self is really stepping in to support them to make these decisions that they need to get rid of certain energies that are lingering around them. Okay, so let's see what kind of actions the masculines are going to be taking. We have the King of Pentacles here, okay? So we have accomplished, charismatic, gifted, accomplished, or I think I said that, but I meant to say compassionate. So a compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, gifted. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. And I think that is coming from this face she's making here in terms of being assertive. But it says everything is going your way, okay? A good person or company to work for. King of Pentacles too is telling me as well, if your masculine's karmic situation is job related, or let's say they are wanting to do so much for themselves, become entrepreneurs, they have big goals and dreams and visions for themselves, but there's been karmic energy just weighing them down. I think 2024 is going to be a really good year for many of your masculines, recognizing that energy within themselves again. The King of Pentacles, making money very easily, calling the shots, going after having their own business in some way. Many of your masculines have this goal or dream, or they have a lot of experience. But again, karmic energies just kind of swoop right in and kind of pull the rug right out from under them. So they're in this process of rebuilding that confidence to set out on that journey again. We also have the Prince of Summer, or the Knight of Cups, which is romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious. I feel like it's about time this energy returns to your masculine, because they've been a little bit bitter with these karmic situations, okay? But with the feminine card here coming through, I feel like that is what's pulling this Knight of Cups to come through. It says falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded, which is what many of them are doing. So it confirms a lot of them really are looking into shit like crystals and just breath work, meditation, freeing their mind, because that's the only way they know how to deal with what they're going through. They don't really recognize just yet that they're feeling other people's emotions. Hence being on the twin flame journey, you're naturally intuitive. So by finding all of these crystals and things like that, it's going to help them understand and realize oh shit, yeah, this isn't really me. I'm just picking up on the influx of people around me. So they're going to start learning how to protect themselves before they're able to end the isolation. Okay, but I feel like they're falling in love with you through this experience because there's so much truth that that they're also having happen at the same time. And it's like everything you said was right. That's what I feel like they're trying to say to you, Divine Feminine. Okay, we also have the Princess of Winter, the Page of Swords here. Okay, so we have inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. I'm hearing this is the way they saw you, or this is the way they see you. Okay, and listen to this message. Okay, and this confirms that the Divine Feminine has come in and you have helped this masculine with some type of esoteric knowledge. Okay, stuff that is only understood by a few. Okay, hence this whole twin flame journey and all of the crazy stuff we go through and all of the information we're opened up to. You have helped this divine masculine with this. Okay, I'll read you guys the message, and this is how they see you. It says here, information that can help you, but which may be also difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. Okay, so they're thinking back and they're backtracking to all of the deep conversations that you've had, and at the time it was really hard to hear, or I'm hearing also like really hard to understand or digest because they didn't know the language. But now that they know the language, it's like all of a sudden crystals start making sense, like tarot, just like meditation, right? Spending time, again, connecting with your higher self. It's like all of a sudden this language is making sense to your divine masculines. And I feel like you are, like you're something sacred right now, that they hold you in such a sacred light, Divine Feminine, with the Feminine card coming through. Okay, and something about this energy is making them feel so proud to know you. They're being swept off of their feet by everything that they're learning, and they're like, there's the satisfaction that's coming from like finally completing the puzzle, like putting that last piece in that puzzle that you've worked so hard to complete. I feel like it's making sense. All right, guys, so that's what I have for you for this one. You guys take it easy, and I will catch you in the next reading. Okay, bye guys.